for being here. Our presenter, Iman, is highly experienced in scientific and regulatory affairs within the medical device and IVD industry. And I will remember a few housekeeping items. Please remain muted with your camera off. Arazy Group members would be the only ones able to ask questions. But if you have any questions, please note them down and you will receive an email after the meeting to fill out a form. We will be recording the meeting, but unfortunately, will not be able to distribute the recording. Thank you very much and enjoy this session.
Thank you, Mariana. Welcome to the regulatory update meeting for June 18, 2024. So today we gonna present the update for several countries: China, India, Indonesia, Serbia, South Korea, and Turkey. So we start with China, where we will discuss several updates. The first one is related to clinical evaluation pathway. Then we will discuss classification of medical devices and IVD updates. And finally, usability engineer for medical devices. So on March 18, 2024, the Center for Medical Device Evaluation, CMDA, in China issued announcement number 11. This document provides an update to the clinical evaluation pathway. So the purpose of this update is to further guide registration applicant in determining the appropriate clinical evaluation pathway for their products. It includes additional pathway based on recent regulatory changes and scientific advancement. So the announcement also lists previous announcements from 2022 and highlight the new pathway introduced in 2024. To provide comprehensive guidance, 2 documents are attached to this notice. So we will delve into the specific of this document and the new pathway in the upcoming slides. So in the first attachment to this notice, which is called instruction for use, as I said, they have announced that the new product category were added with the respective recommended pathway. And also, they give a reminder that for high-risk devices, clinical trials are generally required unless specific exemptions apply. And for new devices which have significant differences from existing devices, clinical trials are also required. And finally, as we know, for equivalent devices, clinical evaluation can be based on similarity analysis with existing devices. So here it is important to note that this pathway will be always updated based on new scientific knowledge and regulatory practices. So to ensure that our clinical evaluation processes remain current and reflective of the latest advancement in medical technology and regulatory standards, we have to consult this document. The second attachment to the notice will give the details about the newly added category and their respective clinical evaluation pathway. So we analyzed this document and we've seen that 2 categories were added. Surgical navigation system, and this system includes the main unit, tracking, positioning devices, functional software, and accessory. They are classified into optical and electromagnetic navigation, and they are meant to assist surgical navigation based on pre-existing or newly developed surgical plans. Some examples are surgical navigation system and infrared navigation system. And for clinical evaluation, similar devices require equivalence analysis, while high-risk devices generally require clinical trial. And for the second category is the breast biopsy and excision systems. These systems include the main unit, also vacuum system, drive handle, and foot switch. So the document give all the details and description about this new category. As I said, they are the intended used. So they are used for the excision and sampling for of breast tissue lesion. As example, they give some example like breast biopsy and excision system and vacuum assisted breast biopsy system. And for the clinical pathway, again, similar devices will require equivalence analysis and clinical trial might be necessary based on risk assessment. So depend. So here it is important to consult this document to see exactly what is the updated clinical evaluation pathway for your device. The second topic for China today is the classification of medical devices. So on May last month, 11, 2024, there is an announcement number 59 that was issued, and it focuses on standardizing the classification and definition of medical device. So the objective of this announcement is to straighten the classification management of medical devices. So this helps basically to ensure that all medical devices are accurately classified and defined accordingly to updated regulation scientific advancements. And the key changes here are the new classification services. So drug regulatory department will now, like in this document, they give the very specific details like this one, that the drug regulatory department will now provide classification and definition services based on updated regulatory and guideline. Application process. So for the application process, clear procedures have been established for determining and applying for product classification. And this is specifically for new devices that are not listed in the current classification catalog. So they give all the procedure to follow in case your device is not listed in this classification catalog, what to do. And there will be procedure also for adjusting the classification catalog based on scientific advancement and international practices. And all these updates, all these changes will be effective from September 1st, 2024. So it will be effective in the next couple months. And regarding to positioning and responsibility, so the classification services will be managed by, as I said before, by drug supervision department to ensure that there is a consistent and standardized approach for classifying medical devices, and the clear responsibility are outlined for all involved party, including both applicant and the regulatory department. And for the application process, for the classification, there will be separate channels for new devices and those with doubtful category. So this separation will basically help in managing the review process and like more effectively, ensuring that each type of application receives the appropriate level of scrutiny. And the entire application process will be conducted electronically. This is very important to note. So this is to go to move toward a digital process, which is the objective for many health authority recently. And for the special procedure will be in place for audits, complaints, and emergency responses. So these procedures are designed to handle exceptional situation. So this ensure that any issue can be addressed correctly. Okay. We're still discussing points regarding the classification of medical devices. So for material requirements, as I said, there is elimination of paper documents. One of the significant changes is the complete elimination of this paper document. And to support this transition, detailed guidelines for electronic submission will be provided, as it is indicated in this announcement. So it will be coming, and there will be enhanced oversight and guidance to ensure that all classification submission activity are conducted correctly. So basically what we understand from that now there will be a lot of guidance regarding the classification of medical devices, either for the one already listed in the classification catalog or those that are not, and what are the procedures to follow, how to apply, and all these details are now documented. And for the regular publication of classification results, this is also another point. They stated that all the results of the classification process will be published regularly, like for transparency purposes. And as I said, the effective day will be September 1st, 2024. Now switching to classification of IVD. So another announcement was published. This is the announcement number 17, and it is focused on the classification of IVD. So here they stated that certificates that are approved and effective before January 1st, 2025 will remain valid with their approval period. This means that existing certificates will continue to be recognized until their designated expiration dates. And for the new registration application, starting from January 1st, 2025, all new registration application must adhere to the updated classification catalog. This update is include or based on the latest standards. And the application submitted before January 1st, 2025 will still be reviewed under their original catalog. Any changes or adjustments in classification will be indicated on the certificate. So now for renewal application that were submitted before January 1st, 2025 will also be reviewed under the original catalog. And the certificate issued for renewal will indicate any necessary category adjustments also, and would remain valid up to January 2027. So for the change of continuing with the same guideline, yes, change of registration. Any changes submitted before January 2025 will be reviewed under the original catalog, and the adjustment indicated on certification, as I said, will be valid until January 2027. For class 1 fill-in, there is a transition period until June 30, 2024 for fill-in under the original catalog. And from July 1st, 2024, all fill-in must follow the updated catalog. So these are, this is for class 1. And regarding the unlisted products that are not included in the classification catalog, They must apply for classification and definition before registration or filing. Finally, or specific composition, a clear indication of product composition is required. So there is a statement that the specific composition should be written, and the generic, because generic description will not be anymore accepted. So this is to ensure that all the components and materials used in the medical device, or in this case for the IVD, are explicitly detailed. And so in addition to all the previous information included in the notice, they also included the two attachments. The first one is the announcement of National Product Administration, which is the classification catalog, the updated catalog of IVD. And the second document is the interpretation of this catalog. So it's give a little bit more information or explanation regarding the first document. So this is basically the updated classification catalog with the updated classification rules for IVD. And finally, we have the guidance for usability engineering for medical devices. So this is the notice that was published on March 2024. And there is a guidelines for the review of medical device usability. This provides a structured approach to evaluate the usability of medical devices. And the application notes on the guideline. So these are two attached documents that should be consulted for this for the purpose of usability engineering for medical devices in China. And if we go over the guidelines, these two attachments here, and we'll talk a little bit about the first document. So the objective of this first document is to guide applicant in establishing usability engineering and preparing all the necessary registration documents for medical devices. So this guideline targets class 2 and 3, and its focus, the focus is specifically on higher risk medical devices, as you can see, because they require thorough usability testing. And the documentation required is reusability engineering research report or usage error evaluation report based on the device risk level. And additionally, the documentation must include detailed user interface verification and validation data. And for the second attached document, this document basically is to provide clear instruction on how to apply the guideline that we presented before. So like more interpretation. So all these notice or announcements as we seen, there is the notice and attached document where all the details information is stated, and usually another document accompanying the main publication, which is an interpretation, giving more light on the details of the first document. And this is the same here. So for the high-risk medical devices, product with high usage risk, like specifically class 3, must submit detailed usability engineering research reports. And the other classes, class 2, and class 3 medical devices, and other one, if the product guidelines specify usability or related requirements such as simulated use, applicants must submit the corresponding registration application material. And for other cases, a usage error evaluation report must be submitted. So all these are details about the usability engineering testing. People who are more used to that can understand more these details. And so if we continue with the second document, here we have like for existing registered devices. So the changes to registration do not require supplemental usability engineering research material. And if the substantial changes are made to users, use scenario, or use interfaces, then usability-related registration application material must be submitted. So for substantial changes. And for renewal, generally do not require additional usability engineering research material. This will be effective from next October 8, 2024. Okay, we finished with the China, and it was the country where we have more updates. Now we switch to India, and we will specifically discuss the Class C and D import licenses for medical devices. So here a little bit of background. About all Class C and D, we already know. I already discussed that in other meetings, but just an introduction to our update today. So all Class C and D medical devices are required to be under a full licensing regime starting from October. Were required to be starting from October 2023. But the CDSCO has introduced a 6-month grace period commencing on October 2023. So during this period, all Class C and D medical devices are permitted for important marketing. It's important to note that a subsequent publication clarified that only non-regulatory Class C and D medical devices, which were already registered and had import license application pending before October 2023, are allowed to continue their import and marketing during this grace period. Okay, what's new now? So the extension of this grace period. Um, And this circular that was published on May last month, 16, 2024, the CDSCO has extended the deadline for importers and manufacturers to obtain the licenses for Class C and D until mid-August. So yeah, it's an extension, but not that large. Soon it will apply, mid-August 2024. Or until their application are processed. So this is to give an additional time for company to comply with this regulatory requirement without any disruption of their operation. And this extension specifically applies to applications that were submitted before September 30. And the primary reason, as we say, to ensure continuity. And so no disruption in the selling or in the operation. So that was for Indonesia. So sorry, for India, as we said, until mid-August. So soon we'll have to adhere to this regulation. In Indonesia, we will discuss the implementation of the certificate for CD AKB certificate for marketing authorization. We'll see what is about. So in this announcement that was made on May, details critical steps and requirements for implementing the CDAKB certification. So the foundation of this implementation is rooted in the Minister of Health regulation of 2014. This regulation has mandates that the implementation of this good distribution practice for medical devices that would commonly referred to CDAKB. So it is the good distribution practice for medical devices. So this requirement is to ensure quality and safety for medical devices distributed in Indonesia. And to adhere to this regulation, as we said, it is now mandatory for all medical devices distributor and their branches to implement this certificate. The implementation will follow a structured timeline as we detail here. So there is a socialization period from May 1st to June 30, 2024, through the Regal GIS system. During this period, there will be extensive effort to educate and prepare all stakeholders for the upcoming changes. And then certification requirement is the official requirement for this certificate will come into effect on July. So soon, 2024. And so in conclusion, the implementation of this certificate will mark definitely a significant steps for enhancing the distribution standards in Indonesia for medical devices. So yeah, that was all for Indonesia. In Serbia, we will discuss some updates regarding the license amendment. I will provide an overview of the updated procedure for amending the registration of medical device in Serbia, as it is outlined in this latest version of amendment instruction. So here, the latest version is version 15, published on April. It introduced comprehensive guidelines for requesting amendment to the registration of medical devices. And the effective date, for the effective date, this new procedure have been effective already since April 19. And so it is now mandatory to apply all this new amendment. And the key focus of this update are here in section, let me just see, yeah, in this section, section A9, which is named modification or addition of tip, model, catalog number, and packaging content. The key focus of this update in this section will cover the modification of or addition of the tips, model, catalog number, packaging content, and for any modification or addition of this category, the following requirements must be met. So a detailed explanation of all modification made to the device and all updated technical details of the device, all labeling and usage instruction must reflect the changes, a declaration that the device conforms to the applicable regulation and standards, and if applicable, updated certificate pertaining to the quality management system must also be included. And in the second section, B2, it outlined the necessary steps and requirements for modifying the test procedure of a finished product. The specific changes covered under this section include the test procedure, so any modification of standards and methods used in the testing the product, changes the design modification. It refers to changes to the design of the product and any alteration to the material used in the product. So to ensure compliance and maintain product safety and performance, the following requirement must be met when submitting is modification about test procedure of finished product. So a detailed explanation of the new test procedure or any changes made to the design, an analysis of how these changes impact the safety and performance of the product, reports that validate and verify the new procedure, and updated risk management file that will reflect also all these changes. So this is important to know if anyone is interested in a license amendment application in Serbia. So here in this document, we have all these new applicable and in effect requirement. In South Korea, this is about medical devices and IVD regulation. But this is, I believe that is important and very helpful to know that the South Korean Ministry of Food and Drug Safety has published a English version of the key regulation and also template, a lot of templates of medical devices and IVD. So this may be very, very helpful. Um, here I just listed some of this regulation that were published in English version. So have the, as you can see, it's main regulation on UDI management, on the permission notification, review of medical devices, enforcement rule of the medical devices, and of IVD also. So as you can see here, this is all the regulation, but we have here the English version and a lot of templates. Yeah. So that was for South Korea. For Turkey, which is our last country today, we'll delve into two critical aspects of regulatory compliance in Turkey. The first topic will be medical device registration application. And the second one will discuss common specification for non-medical products. So the first topic, on May 2024, Turkish Medical and Medical Devices Agency announced this significant improvement in the registration process, medical devices. So this streamlined process allows manufacturers to submit a single application for up to 500 products within the same group, of course. And this change is designed to simplify the administrative burden and also to enhance the efficiency. Additionally, the fees for this application are determined per application. So regardless of the quantity of products included, making the process more cost effective. So furthermore, there are no fees for custom-made devices, ensuring that manufacturer can register their products without incurring additional costs. So this is, I think, very interesting initiative from the TIT-CK, and demonstrating a commitment for innovation and reducing barrier for the registration in Turkey. The second topic in Turkey is about the common specification for non-medical products. So what is that about? On March 2024, the health authority in Turkey introduced new guidelines. So these guidelines aim to establish common specification for products that are listed in the medical device regulation, but are not intended for medical purposes. The primary objective is to ensure that this non-medical product meets specific safety and performance criteria. This is crucial as it helps maintain high standard. The scope of this guideline. So it covers various product groups that, while not medical, fall under the regulatory purview of medical devices. So even if they have non-medical it's are like non-intended for medical purposes, but they in Turkey they fall under the medical device regulation. So this guideline is effective from March, and yeah, it marks a significant step in the for the non-medical product in Turkey. And continuing with this topic, it is imperative for manufacturer to comply with this specification, and the product must be registered and adhere to all the requirements that are outlined in this common specification. I think it is clear. And as for implementation, so the detailed procedure for compliance and registration are provided in the guideline. So it's very good document to consult. About the application submission for compliance and registration, all application must be submitted electronically through the UTS, yeah, already known, this portal. And the required document will be formal application letter, compliance documentation, that might include the EC certificate, declaration of conformity, etc. And it is crucial to include the manufacturer confirmation emails and any related documentation to validate the like the authenticity of the and compliance of the product. And for the critical aspects of clinical evaluation and data submission, it's imperative that products have robust clinical evaluation, of course, that demonstrate their compliance with general safety and performance standard. And for certain products, clinical investigation may be necessary to generate this data. So for the document, any document submitted in foreign languages must be translated to Turkish and certified by certified translator. And these certified translations must be included in the application package. That was all for Turkey from our meeting today. A summary of all the information that we have presented today. We've discussed update in 6 countries. China, in China, we discussed a lot of topic regarding the new clinical evaluation pathway or the updates of the clinical evaluation pathway, the updates of the classification catalog for IVD, also for the medical devices, and a lot of information regarding usability engineering for medical devices in China that should be taken into consideration from manufacturer. In India, the new extension of the grace period for Class C and D import license. In Indonesia, the implementation of the distribution certificate that is already mandatory for marketing authorization. And in Serbia, requirements on more details for the submission of a license amendment application. In South Korea, we just mentioned that a lot of or many regulation and templates, main regulation and templates in South Korea were published and are accessible in the health authority website in an English version. And in Turkey, we have discussed the medical device registration application and common specification for non-medical products, this guideline with all the required documents that should be submitted and the requirement that should be followed. That's yeah, that's thank you for your attention, and we are open for question, please. Yes, we have here several questions. Let's start with Gabi. Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Gabi. Please just mention the country so I can go
Yeah, sure.
through.
My question is about Turkey.
Okay. Let's
So, see, yeah,
let's
sorry.
go to Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the last one, so we are close.
Yeah, it's specifically it's about the common specification for non-medical products. If you could repeat the critical criteria for the clinical information and how these will be evaluated to ensure compliance.
Okay, let's go to. I think this was the last one.
Yeah, sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah, the clinical evaluation. So here. So
Okay.
here, basically, yeah, as I said, the product must have clinical evaluation data to demonstrate compliance. Like because here the purpose is to ensure safety and performance requirements. So the clinical investigation may be required for certain products. So you have to what else like just you have to ensure that this product have enough clinical evaluation data to to ensure the safety and yeah as they remind if you don't have if the manufacturer do not have they should plan an investigation clinical investigation and some more details about, as I said, about that this information should be presented in Turkish with the
Mhm.
certified translation, and that should be included in the document.
Okay.
And yeah, that's for the common specification in regarding clinical investigation or clinical data in Turkey.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you so much, Iman. Good
Uh,
presentation.
Thank you, Gabi. Thank you. Yeah, what is have here? Yeah, we have Ana Lucia in the
Hi,
queue.
man. Hi,
Hi,
thank you for the presentation.
you're welcome.
I have a question for Indonesia and another one for China, but I will ask one now and then raise my hand again. So
Okay,
I give space to others. Um, I
Indonesia.
wanted to ask how will the implementation of the CDAKB certification impact the medical device distributors in Indonesia, and what steps should they take to comply?
Well, this is to be honest a big change in Indonesia. We said this is already like they give some time to implement this. This it is mandatory now and for all distributor and this will ensure that as I said the all distribution activity meet the standards always for safety and quality and but they give a period like I said here socialization period from May to June that will end in a few days and but it will be effective. So the from this July 1st. So the distributor um, they should include they should prepare for the certification very soon because it is effective on July 1st. They should prepare by documenting compliance with all these standards and submit the documentation and apply for certification. So it will impact them because it's a lot of work to do for to prepare for the certification in a very narrow time. So
Okay.
yeah, but it will ensure more safety and secure and quality. Yeah.
Okay, thank
You
you.
said you have another question, right?
Oh, yes. Do you want me to ask now? It's about China. What should companies do if their in vitro diagnostic products are not listed in the new classification catalog?
We are talking about IVD or
IVD is in China, yes.
okay, let's just let me go to China. That was the first country that we have presented. Here we have the IVD. Can you please repeat the question?
What should company do if their IVDs products are
Ah,
not listed in the classification catalog?
yes. I think I have. Yeah. So basically, as I said, here this publication are they details all these doubts. There is an update in the catalog for the and the update of the product that are listed in the catalog, but if there's still a product that they are not listed in this catalog, so the manufacturer should apply for classification, should made an application, submit an application to the National Medical Product Administration to classify their product, and they should prepare all the required document about the product, like the intended use, technological characteristics, etc. They should prepare all the documents that could help in the classification, apply for this official classification to get their the information about their products, what could be the class assigned to their
Okay.
product.
And after they receive the reply, the product will be included in the catalog?
No. This
No.
this will not be included in the catalog. It's like included, like officially there are products that are included in this catalog. This catalog is usually updated, regularly updated. But if you don't have your product there, you have to apply. Now, if they will include it or no, we don't know. It's depend of the high demand or whatever
Okay.
criteria they have. So maybe in the next updates, they would take into consideration all this application for classification and update their catalog. I
Okay.
suppose.
Understood. Thank you.
You're
Very clear.
welcome. Yes, I think there are several more people here raising hand. We have Mickey.
Yes,
Yeah.
hi. Thank you very much for the presentation. It was very clear and good. I have a question regarding Serbia. Can you go back to Serbia?
Okay, Serbia. Oh, Serbia, that was about the license amendments.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yes.
Maybe you can provide more details on the process and requirements for submitting a request for amendment of medical device registration in Serbia, concerning changes in the test procedures or the design modifications. I hope the question is clear.
Yes. You mean test procedure? Okay. So
if we have some design modification or changes in the test procedures
yes,
of our devices, yeah.
Okay. So for changes in the test procedure, so description of the new test procedure or the design change that impact the analysis on product should be submitted. Basically, like any changes. I don't know if I responded to your question, but any changes for description, any changes in this test procedure should be submitted with a detailed explanation of all the modification, and of course giving attaching support in document about all these changes to the test procedure.
Yeah, okay, Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome, Mickey. Yes, I have here one question from our guest, Akash Kirani. Can you please write it down in a message in the chat box?
Yeah, put the message on the
Okay,
chat box. So thank you for the good presentation. It was really
thank
good. And I would like to know, since there are many countries, so how do you monitor the changes? Because regulations keeps on updating day to day. And how is the easy way to monitor for all the countries' regulations?
you. Okay, yes, you mean in general, like how to monitor all the country.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I find that the most effective way is to go to the official health authority website and monitor the regularly, like monthly, the all the requirement or the guidelines or the this information is they already. They usually publish all this information regularly, and most of the country that have a big market of medical devices are really active, and they published either notice or announcement, and this just announcing this new news and then attaching the document. So my advice is to go to the country that you are interested in and consult regularly the authority, the authority, and see if they have any announcements, any news, any notice, any attached document to the regulation. That's it. There is no another way to monitor all this information,
Okay,
and this is
yeah, thank you. I got an idea.
the more secure way, because you are getting information from the
Yeah, that's true.
official source.
Okay, got it. And also, I would like to know, so how many regulated countries are there for medical device till date? Proper regulated countries.
Sorry.
How many proper regulated countries for medical device are there in the world?
In the world, well,
Yeah.
many the all the like every day.
No, I would like to say, we know that there are 195 countries in the world. So does all the countries have the proper regulations for medical device, or only for some of them is it? So I would like to know the stats of it.
Yes, I would say like there are more than 100, or the one that we are handling, all the countries
Okay.
that we are handling in Arazy Group are more than
Yeah.
140 countries that are the country that are regulated, properly regulated, as you said. But every day, new country are coming. And we are going
Oh,
to present any new country that officially start with the new official regulation. We will give this update and include it to our services. So there are a lot of country, and more are coming now, because most of the country, they are more
yeah.
interested in the security of their service, their
Medical.
population. Yeah, you're
True, true.
welcome, Akash.
Thank you so
Uh,
much.
you're welcome. So still have here Mariana.
Yes, I have a question about Indonesia. For yes, Indonesia, for the implementation of the CDA-KB certificate, what are the main compliance challenges you anticipate for the medical device distributors, and how can they prepare for the deadline?
Yeah, I think this is the they can the challenge is that, as I said, they have to understand the requirement of this to apply for this good distribution practice certificate. They have to understand it very well. They have to make sure that they are compliant with all these practices, prepare the documentation, correct documentation, and I think that's it, and comply with the deadline, which is soon, on July 1st. So let me just see to make sure where this announcement was published. So because I think they gave some time. So yeah, on May. Okay, so this was on May 7. They had already the whole month of May, June, 2 months. This was even if it's 2 months, it's challenging. So they have to understand. But this in this announcement, they have provided a lot of information, so they should be okay. Not that challenging. It's not very complicated task to like for the submission of a distribution certificate. Should be easier than other submission, but should be challenging with new thing that is introduced now in Indonesia. I think yeah. Is it clear, Mariana?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Iman.
You're welcome. Still have on the queue, I can see here Ana Laura, please.
Yes, hello, thank you, Man. So my question is regarding the last point of the updates in China. I think it was the point in V. It's the one that you mentioned about the usability guidelines. Do you want to go back there, or should I just?
Yes. Let me go
question.
through this.
Yeah, the question is just.
No, just to show the question.
It's related.
Yes, here. You are cutting off. Yes, Ana Laura, what is your question?
In China. So I was wondering if you could clarify what constitutes a substantial change to users, use scenarios, user interfaces, and so on, that would require the submission of additional usability-related registration application materials. So if you could just clarify.
Okay. So substantial change in the context of usability engineering, it's as I said, significant modification to the users, and these changes could impact how the device is used, because it's like, as you said, substantial changes. So there are significant modification, whether either for the user use or interface, and this change could impact how the device would be used, and so that's why they require reapplication for its usability. The test should be done again. It's because it could affect basically the safety, which is the main concern of all, which is the purpose of this test, usability engineering, the safety and the effectiveness, to make sure that this device is easy to use for the user and in an effective way and in a safe way. So if there is some changes, and specifically a significant modification, which is called substantial change, so we don't know if this still compliant. So the usability registration must be resubmitted. And that's why.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, very clear.
Yeah, any? Okay. If we don't have any other question, I would like to thank you all for your presence. It was a very interesting talk for me today, because we had a lot of questions, and keep going with all these questions for the next meeting. Thank you so much, and hope you learned a lot. And yeah, just a reminder for all our external guests, we can send you the slides, not the recording, but the slides. And if you have any additional question, just send it by email. And thank you so much for your presence today with us.
Yeah, thank you all for coming, and please ask in the follow-up email you'll receive if you have any other questions. Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye all. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.